What's next then? Well, we go from pre-66 touring cars to big cats. It's the Jaguar Enthusiasts Club Saloon and GT Championship. XJ6s, XJSs and Jaguar XK8s. On a slightly damp track, this is going to be a lot of fun, to say the least. Before we give you the grid for this one, we can have a couple of interviews from earlier on.
Alright, with Mike Seaborn of the Jaguar Enthusiast Club. Mike, lovely to be with you, and third in qualification, so already a pretty good start to the day.
Yeah, it's my best ever qualifying result, but it's only on account of a few faster cars having some gremlins, so it's going to be an interesting race trying to stop them coming through me. We'll see.
Yeah, that always gives an extra element, doesn't it? Look, we're here at Cadwell Park today. What do you know about Cadwell as a circuit? What do you like about it? What do you maybe not like about it?
I don't like about it that it smashed my car up last year. One of the barriers very rudely jumped out at me and into my car. But no, I love this track. It shouldn't exist in the state it does. It's madness. You know, it's a brilliant circuit. You couldn't build a circuit like this these days. It's fantastic.
Yeah, what do you mean by that for those watching at home?
It's the elevation change. There's various corners on the track, and obviously the mountain is the obvious point where the car will just lift a wheel because of the undulation. It's it's spectacular.
And I guess riding something like this around that track makes it a little bit squeaky bum time, shall we say, at times.
Yeah, it does. Especially with these, they love to cock the tail around at the best of times. So when you are lifting a wheel over the mountain and the like, and the rears will just light up and it will want to throw you sideways, it becomes a bit of a wrestling match.
Sounds like great fun, mate. We wish you all the very best.
All right, thank you very much. Cheers.
Well, back down in the paddock with the Jaguar Enthusiast Club, Tom Robinson here, second on the grids in the Jags. Tom, you were just telling me before we came on air there that this is your first time around Cadwell Park. Yeah. I imagine qualification was, what's the phrase I'm looking for, a bit of a learning curve for you in more ways than one.
Yeah, it's narrow to say the least, and obviously with a big saloon it is a little bit fun. But yeah, we were plagued with a misfire, which was really frustrating because I think we had the pace to put it on pole, but in the end, I'm really happy that we got one lap in, and that was qualified for second. So I'm really happy. Hopefully we've sorted it. We've changed ignition coil, etc. So fingers crossed we'll be able to give him a good run in the race.
Yeah, and talk to me a little bit about the undulations, because we were just speaking to Mike Seaborn, who's just behind you in the grid, and he says when it's over those hills, it's kind of a little bit of a chance, isn't it? You don't quite know which way it's going to go.
Well, this is the thing. Like, I watched plenty of YouTube content, and we did actually get a little bit of chance of testing, but then nothing prepares you how steep it actually is, and all of the off-camber. So when you come over the top of the mountain, like, you wouldn't think a 1,400 kilogram car would literally take off, and it does. And you lose traction, so it's really hard to modulate the car because it's keeping you on your toes the whole way round. So I think for a 15-20 minute race round here, you're going to be working the whole time, so we'll see if the car can hold up.
Sounds like good fun for you as the driver, though.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And like I said, it's the first time, and driving a soon. I've driven another car here, but nothing like this, and it's going to be absolutely epic, especially with 15 cars going around there.
And it's a stacked paddock, isn't it? We're here with the classic touring cars and the Jags all day. You look around the paddock here, and it's just glorious all the way around, isn't it? There's just beauty everywhere you look.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that to pass around here as well, that's going to be fun, especially with the bigger cars. But no, yeah, it's a great weekend. Really pleased to be here.
Well, we can't wait to watch your race. Best of luck, mate.
Thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye.
Out come the Jaguars then, so let's have a look at the grid. And in pole position will be number 7 Tom Lenthal with his Class C XJS, alongside the man we've just heard from, number 4 Tom Robinson in his Class D XJR Saloon. Second row of the grid, number 24 Michael Seaborn, the overall championship leader at the moment. He's in Class B for the less modified cars, alongside 44 of Guy Connew. Row 3, number 11 Michael Holtz, and number 1 of James Ram, the reigning champion. Fourth row, 54 Rick Walker in his XJS, and Derek Pearce, number 58 with his XK8. Row 5, number 40 Dean Sewell, the first of the Class A cars. That's the road standard cars. It goes Class A for standard cars, up to Class D for fully race modified. 42 Roger Webster alongside him. Good to see him back out with a new paint job on his XJS this weekend. And number 50 Matthew Davis. Welcome back to him. First time we've seen him out since the season opener at Silverstone, where he unfortunately suffered a fire. No, he is back out for this one. There's a couple of cars here that are unfortunately withdrawn after problems in qualifying. 32 Nick Strong and number 92 Michael Atkinson. They will not be starting this race, unfortunately. Interesting to see there Michael Holtz, number 11. Now he's normally in an XJ300 saloon, but he's racing the car normally seen in the hands of Colin Philpott here this weekend. The XJS, the red and white car in Class C. So Michael Holt, a change of car and class from his usual steed. Tom Lenthal, great effort to qualify on pole ahead of the more powerful saloon of Tom Robinson, the supercharged XJR6. There's James Ram in the grey and orange car, the reigning champion. It's a bit wet out there, you can see the wipers going. It's going to make it even more fun out there. I love this comment that's come in on YouTube from Ian J. He says, Cadwell Park looks like when your parents were away and all your mates brought their scale electric track round and the circuit you built ran through 2 rooms and up over the dining table. That is the best description of Cadwell Park I have ever read, and it's 100% accurate as well. That's brilliant. There's Roger Webster, the bright green car there. Good to see him back out. A new paint job on that car for this weekend. There's the Series 1 XJ6 of Dean Sewell, number 40, with the Union, with the St George's Cross, I should say, paint job. Matt Davis back out with the number 50. Had a collision at the start of the first race of the season at Silverstone. The car unfortunately caught fire, so good to see he's back out. Cars onto the grid then. It's a rather damp Cadwell Park for our first race of the day for the Jaguar Enthusiast Club Saloon and GT Championship. The XJS of Tom Lenthal, great effort to qualify on pole for this 20-minute race. Alongside him, Tom Robinson in the supercharged Jaguar XJR6 Saloon. The second row, championship leader, number 24, Michael Seaborn in his Castrol liveried XJ40, alongside number 44, Guy Connew in his beautiful Bob Tullius lookalike Group 44 Trans Am XJS. Number 11, Michael Holt in the car regularly raced by Colin Philpott, the XJS on row 3, alongside reigning champion number 1 of James Ram. The lights go out and we are underway. The Jags are unleashed. A poor start by Tom Robinson. Right out into the pit lane exit goes Guy Connew. Terrible start by Robinson. He's gone backwards as the Jags head up into Coppice Corner for the first time. It's going to be slip and slide for these big cars. Tom Lenthal has got the lead. Seaborn up into second. And Tom Robinson, it looks like, just couldn't get the power down from his supercharged 4-litre engine there. You can see how damp it is as they make their way tentatively into Park Straights for the first time. So let's see if Robinson can use the power on the straights to fight back. He's going side by side there with Guy Connew, number 44, in his awesome Trans Am lookalike. There is the number 11, Michael Holtz. We normally see former champion Colin Philpott racing that car, the Powerbell Motorsport XJS, but Michael taking it over this weekend. Trying to go for the outside is Tom Robinson. He's going to go round the outside of Bob Tullius, aka Guy Connew there as well. As he's got through, but it's Tom Lenthal who leads. Michael Seaborn in second in the Class B XJ40. Class A for the road standard cars, then Class B a bit more modification, right up to Class D, which is the fully race modified machines. The more powerful cars are going to struggle on this circuit in these conditions. There's Robinson. He's got back up into 4th place ahead of the 44 of Guy Connew. It's Tom Lenthal who leads the way, runs a Jaguar Specialist Garage, Tom Lenthal down in Sussex, but Michael Seaborn, he's never going to get through there, surely goes over the curbs. I don't think you're going to get 2 of these big Jags side by side through Hall Bends somehow, but he thinks better of it. Holt in 3rd. 4th place is Robinson. 5th we've got Guy Connew, and James Ram, the reigning champion, 2nd. Look at that, the leader sideways, and Michael Holt's gone straight on at the hairpin. He loses out to Tom Robinson. There is no grip there under the trees at all. Just look at the way they are sliding. It looks spectacular, but it is very scary for these drivers. First 2 have broken away. It is Lenthal from Seaborn by just under a second. 3rd place it is Tom Robinson. Has got ahead now of Holt, Connew and Ram. Leading Class A is Dean Sewell in the Series 1 XJ6 further back in the order. Tom Lenthal. Tom Lenthal Jaguar number 7 XJS looking for his, what I think will be his first overall win in this championship. Michael Seaborn looking for his first overall win as well. Up the hill towards Park Corner. Having a look on the inside. I have to be so tentative in these wet conditions, but look, Robinson is catching them up now. He's broken away from Michael Holt in 4th. That rear wing's new on the Powerbell car as well. There is number 44, Guy Connew behind him, replica of the car that Bob Tullius raced in the Trans Am Championship in America, run by the Group 44 team. He later moved into Group C racing with a Jaguar prototype. of course, that led on to the likes of the Silk Cut and Castrol Jaguar Group C and IMSA GTP cars as well. I could wax lyrical about them for many hours. Meanwhile, James Ram is coming under fire from 54 of Rick Walker. He's second in Class B, and we've had a change for the lead. Michael Seaborn has got through. He's got ahead of Tom Lenthal. It's the XJ40 that leads the way. What a great drive by the Castrol liveried car. Michael Seaborn, number 24, the man from Swindon. Tom Robinson, though, he's closing up. You can see how the job he's having trying to get the power down from that car. The rear wheels are just spinning up every time he puts his foot down. Into the hairpin. What's going to happen this time through the hairpin? Are they going to make it through? Seaborn wide over the curve. It is so slippery there under the trees. And look at Robinson sideways, almost drift style through the hairpin. Holt fourth. Then it's Tullius, aka Connew. Then James Ram. Then Rick Walker. Have to be so slow through that section of circuit. It's Michael Seaborn with the overall lead for the first time ever in this championship. I don't think he's even led a lap overall before. It's a great drive. Tom Robinson trying to close up. He's having a look for second place there on the back of Tom Lenthal, so at least he's getting the power down in some sections of the circuit. There's Holtz. Then Connew. Oh, and Lenthal sideways through Charlie's Bend there. This could be the chance for Tom Robinson. He could go through for second in a straight line. Yes, he's managed to get the power down. He goes through. The more powerful Class D car up into second place ahead of Tom Lenthal. Now it's down to the business of trying to catch Michael Seaborn for the overall lead. It's usually Tom Robinson or James Ram who get the overall wins. Occasionally Colin Philpott as well, but Michael Holtz in his car this weekend. There's Rick Walker, number 54 in the green machine. Same green that Jaguar's Formula 1 team used in the early 2000s. He is running in 7th overall, second in Class B. Michael Seaborn, the Class B leader. Dean Sewell leads Class A. Here's James Ram, the man from Essex, in number 1. The boss of ComSec Investigations. He's being investigated here by Michael Holt because he's just dropped behind him. There goes Tom Lenthal, he's in 3rd place. Behind Robinson. Robinson challenging our leader as they come through the mountain. Over the top they go. Into Hall Bends. Seaborn from Robinson. This is the fight for the lead. See the track glistening there under the trees. Then down to the hairpin. What's going to happen this time? This is going to be interesting. There's Connew in 4th place. Through the hairpin okay this time. Here comes Guy Connew as well in the Trans Am replica. There's Ram. Holt down to 6th. Then it's Walker. Behind them in 8th place, a bit further back, is Derek Pearce in the XK8. Used to race a Mark II Jaguar as Robinson. This time he's got the power down. Here he comes and he goes through into the lead. Or does he? Or does he? The next corner's a left-hander. He gets across the front of the number 24. Yes, Robinson has got it. The next corner's a right-hander into Charlie's. But it's Tom Robinson into the lead in car number 4. Finally, the power of that supercharged XJR6 telly. You can hear the whine of the supercharger as he leads Michael Seaborn. This is the best we've seen Michael run in terms of overall performance. He leads the championship overall on 107 points coming into this round. Tom Lenthal is second, so he leads the points in Class C. He's on 95, and Tom Robinson is on 92. He's the points leader in Class D and 3rd overall. The points in Class A are led by Simon Dunford with his XJS. He's not here this weekend. So Matthew Davis with a chance to close up, but he's currently running at the tail of the field. Fastest lap of the race recorded by Guy Connew. He did a 1:55.529. There he is, the number 44. He's got James Ram almost on his tailpipes there. Headlights on for Mike Seaborn. He's dropping back now from our race leader Tom Robinson. So could that mean it's drying out slightly, because you can see Robinson is pulling away. We hear the supercharger there in the background. Tom Lenthal over the top of the mountain in 3rd place. He's still leading Class C. So 3 class leaders in the first 3 places. Robinson leads Class D, Seaborn Class B, and the number 7 of Lenthal Class C. Seaborn Class B, I should say. Here comes Guy Connew and James Ram. They're closing in. It's definitely starting to dry again, I would say. There's Michael Holtz in the Colin Philpott car, holding off Rick Walker. Second place fight goes over the line. Now, has the gap come down for second? Yeah, by a few tenths. There's 1.4 seconds in it between Seaborn and Lenthal. Here comes Guy Connew. New fastest lap that time through by Tom Robinson, 1 minute 50.016. So the lap speeds are tumbling by several seconds. It's definitely drying out there. You can see the rain's gone off our camera lens on Park Straight. It really is improving again out there. Just a shower of rain at the start of that race when the Jaguar drivers wanted it the least. Now here's our fight for third. Lenthal has been almost caught now by Guy Connew in the 44. There's James Ram behind them, the reigning champion. He's had many wins in that XJS over the years in the colours of the Jaguars that raced in the European Touring Car Championship in the Motul livery in the 80s. Of course, the Jaguar XJS's most famous victory was in the Bathurst 1000. 1 year, Tom Walkinshaw was behind that effort. There's Seaborn in second in the classic Pastoral livery. Robinson's getting away now. Over the mountain, you can see from that angle just how steep it is. I've never driven Cadwell Park myself, but I have passengered round it in a course car, and that was an experience in itself. Better than any roller coaster I've been on. There's the four. It'll always be a 4-car fight here shortly for second place. The XJS is starting to gang up on Michael Seaborn's XJ40. This is allowing Robinson to get away. He's just done a 1:45.801. 2 laps ago he was in the 1:55. That's how much it's dried out in just 2 laps. Here comes James Ram attacking Guy Connew. That's for 4th place. 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Seaborn, Lenthal, Connew, Ram. They pulled clear of Michael Holt by about 10 seconds now. Then it's Rick Walker in 7th, Derek Pearce is still 8th, then Class A leader Dean Sewell in the St George's Cross liveried Series 1 XJ6. And Matthew Davis and Roger Webster, the other 2 runners. James Ram hasn't got the Motul logos on that car at the moment. It's the plain grey and orange. 9.5 minutes still to go in this 20-minute race. And now they've caught Michael Seaborn. He had the advantage earlier in the rain, but the more powerful cars in classes C and D have now caught him up. Robinson's away in front. Now here comes second place towards the mountain. Can Michael Seaborn hang on? Tom Lenthal, pole sitter in this race. Great effort to qualify on pole. Trying to get into second place, and is that a bit of, was that just tyre smoke I saw there from Guy Connew? Yes, just a little bit of a lock-up as he came through the mountain. But he's got James Ram behind him. We won't get through at the Hall Bends. Connew is fishtailing about now. Maybe his tyres are starting to go off. Down towards the hairpin. Down the right-hander. Connew having to defend here from James Ram. Down the hill out of Barn Corner. They're starting to split into 2 pairs now. Here comes Tom Lenthal. He's surely going to go for second place up towards Coppice Corner. Yes, he's going to go through. Connew ahead of Ram. Side by side out of Coppice up towards Charlie's. And Lenthal's held the inside line. Holtz second place. Good move by Tom Lenthal. Up into second in lucky number 7. Now surely the 2 XJS's behind Michael Seaborn will catch him up. Lead gap is up to over 5.5 seconds now. Robinson's just on a 1:44.2. He's beginning to pull away. There he is in the background going through Park Corner. Here they come into Park, the 2nd, 3rd and 4th place fights. Down towards the gooseneck. Tom Lenthal still just about holding second. Still number 44 in 4th place. The drivers welcoming these drier conditions, really struggling to get the power of these Jags onto the tarmac. Lenthal pulling away now, and oh, Michael Seaborn slowing down. Michael Seaborn's got a problem. Oh, what a shame. He was doing so well there, holding 3rd overall, but Seaborn has a problem. I think he's going to be pulling into the paddock this time through, the paddock entrance at the bottom of the mountain. Well, that's going to give the lead of Class B to Rick Walker, number 54, the green XJS. He's just taken Michael Holtz, number 11, for 6th overall. Michael Seaborn is in the paddock. He's out of the race as this battle rages on. And I think we've got a safety car. Yep, the safety car is being called. So somebody has come to a halt somewhere. Did Michael Seaborn not get off the track, I wonder, at the mountain? Has he stopped on track? I can hear in the background a terrible sound of a misfiring engine. So that could be Seaborn's car. That might be why he's slowed. But the safety car is going to come out. Not sure of the reason why at the moment, so either somebody's had an off somewhere or Michael Seaborn has come to a stop on track. Well, there is number 42, the new car of Roger Webster, the former chairman of the Jaguar Enthusiasts Club, and that's a very snazzy new paint job he's got on that machine as well, almost camouflage style. The green, black and white, very impressive looking car. He's running at the back of the field at the moment, he's been lapped. Just under 6 minutes of this race to go. The safety car is out. I can only assume Michael Seaborn didn't make it as far as the paddock and he stopped on track just before the mountain. Now it's about here where the paddock entrance is. I can't see any problem there. Did Michael Seaborn, I wonder if he went past the paddock entrance, but then the car has conked out on him. There's the BMW safety car. Long-time racer and marshal Colin Stubbs driving that this weekend, a regular official here at Cadwell. Helped out, we're told, by Dan Ashton as well. Marshal and racer on the short ovals. So Colin Stubbs in the BMW leading them round. We're not sure why the safety car has come out at the moment, but whether it's Michael, I can only assume Michael Seaborn's car is stranded somewhere, and that's the reason why. Can't see it anywhere at the moment though, whether he didn't make it into the paddock. Where's Derek Pierce? We've not seen the XK8 before. That's number 58, the newest car in this race. It was an XK8 that won the championship a couple of years ago in the hands of Chris Boone. And at the other end of the age scale, we just caught a glimpse of Dean Sewell's Series 1 XJ6 there. Suitable for Jags of all ages, you could say, this series. Michael Seaborn he's come round, and I think we're going green again. Yes, the car has made it off track because it just showed us having done a lap. The safety car never picked up the leader and is now back in the pit lane, so I'm not quite sure what that was all about. We go green once again. Michael Seaborn's car is shown to having done a lap of over 4 minutes, so he must have made it into the pit lane, I assume. Well, we're going again. We'll try and find where our leader's got to. Tom Robinson. There he is, just coming into the mountain. There's the leader. So it's Lenthal now second. Connew in third, then James Ram. I think the drivers are unsure whether we've gone green again or not at the moment. Because the safety car didn't pick up the leading car, they're a bit unsure at the moment. So we've got just under 3 minutes of the race to go. They'll see the green flags as they come back onto the home straight here. And then the race will resume. The rain's still coming down. Now there's rain coming down again, there's green flags back out, so we should be back up to racing speed, but the rain is returning once again, so a bit of confusion here at Cadwell Park. There's the leader heading into Coppice Corner now, so it's Tom Robinson. He's completed 9 laps, the lead gap down to 4 seconds now, but Tom Lenthal is behind Matt Davis there, lapping his XJR Saloon. That's a Class A car, a road standard machine. He gets out of the way, lets the second place fight through. Lenthal from Connew. The rain really has returned here, it's pouring down now. James Ram in 4th place. Oh, the leader's spun! That's Robinson, he's He must have got a wheel onto the grass coming out of Charlie's there. He's facing the wrong way. Has he hit the barrier? Has he clipped the barrier there? He's going to try and get going again. Stuck facing the wrong way. This is for the lead now at Park. Oh, and they've tangled up coming through Park. Oh my goodness, they're going off. Heading for the barriers. Hope they'll stop in time. Connew has gone. Did Lenthal keep going? The rain has caught everybody out here. This is disastrous. So that, I think, will put James Ram into the lead. Goodness me. Well, the rain changes everything. A tangle between Tom Lenthal and there's Michael Seaborn going again. Where's he come back into this from? Well, I've got 1 minute to go, and to be honest, I'm not sure who's leading now. I think it's James Ram, number 1. We'll try and see what happened again there. We'll have a replay of that incident. It was coming through Park Corner. Connew went up the inside. I don't think Tom Lenthal realised he was there. There was contact, off they went. Now, did Tom Lenthal keep going? Connew we saw spinning off to the outside on the grass. Now, if Tom Lenthal has kept going, he's got a bit of damage, but if he's kept going, he will still be leading this race. There's no grip out there whatsoever now. Now, we'll have to wait until the leaders cross the line to find out who is in front. Did Lenthal keep going? Or is it James Ram? I think it'll be James Ram leading. No, it is Lenthal. There he is. Ram's going to come through as they come up towards the line. We're into the last lap and Ram takes the lead. And you can see the damage there to the front of Tom Lenthal's car where he had that contact with Connew. So there are your leaders. It's Ram. Has just taken Lenthal, whose front bumper's hanging off. Robinson is going again, I think, or we'll have to wait and see on that. Connew's still there in third. He recovered from that spin. And beyond that, I'm not too sure. What a confusing end to this first race of the Jags. The rain throwing everything into chaos. So James Ram, his luck certainly in. He needs to make up some points as well because he missed the last round of the championship. Through towards Chris Curve. It's just a case of making sure they get home now in these wet conditions. Connew is third, he's recovered from his spin. It's Rick Walker up to fourth, he leads Class B. Michael Holtz is fifth. I think we've lost Robinson altogether, I don't think he's rejoined. So it's going to be an overall win for a Class D car, but not in the circumstances we envisaged. Here they come, towards the mountain for the last time. They've got to be so careful in these last few corners towards the checkered flag. We are on the last lap now. The weather can't make up its mind what it's doing. Ram eases the XJS through. He's got a lot of experience in this car. Look at it fishtailing around there. There's no grip at all. Through Hall Bends for the last time. Lenthal's still there in third with his bumper hanging off. In second with his bumper hanging off. Taking it a step. Look at the slide there out of the hairpin. It's so tricky there. What a confusing end to this first race of the day for the Jaguar Enthusiasts Club, and it's going to be a win for the man from Essex. James Ram comes in to take the victory, the reigning champion. What a chaotic race to win. Tom Lenthal in second, he wins Class C. And as for who's going to be third, I'm not sure. The rest of the pack is a long way behind. It should be Guy Connew, I think. Yes, here he comes. Guy Connew will take third and second in Class D. And then a long way back in fourth, I think is going to be Rick Walker. He's going to win Class B. I don't know what the problem was for Michael Seaborn. He slowed. I think it might have been a misfire. Oh, and Seaborn's off again. Now that's going to be interesting because that's right across the entrance to the paddock on the mountain. And he's blocked that completely. What has happened there? Has he spun or has the car conked out on it? There's our winner, James Ram, and he's going to come round to the entrance to the paddock and he's not going to be able to get in. Rick Walker's taken fourth. Fifth is Michael Holt. Walker wins Class B. And then next time I think it's going to be Derek Pearce in the XK8. Yes, here he comes. He's got Dean Sewell on his tail. But the more modern car of Derek Pearce will come home in sixth place. Dean Sewell wins Class A in seventh. And the only other finishers a lap down, Matthew Davis and Roger Webster. What an absolutely chaotic race that was. All caused by a couple of rain showers. But the cap that got the cream is James Ram. I don't think even he expected to win that one. Poor old Tom Robinson never rejoined after spinning out. He does get the consolation of the fastest lap, 1:44.22. Now, can they get into the paddock? Because at the mountain, Michael Seaborn got stuck across the paddock entrance. I hope he's moved. Ah, the paddock entrance is clear now. And they're able to get in. I thought we were going to have a traffic jam at the mountain there. Even Cadwell Park has bank holiday traffic jams sometimes. And we'll confirm the results in a moment. The provisional results of that rather bizarre race for the Jaguars. The win going to James Ram by 4 seconds ahead of Tom Lenthall's battered car at the flag. 4 seconds the winning margin. Tom Lenthall winning Class C. Guy Connew took third ahead of Rick Walker, who was 30 seconds back on him. Rick Walker winning Class B. Michael Holt taking fifth ahead of Derek Pearce. Then Dean Sewell took seventh position. He won Class A. Eighth was Matthew Davis, a lap down. Ninth for Roger Webster. Tom Robinson spun out of the lead on Park Straight, and Michael Seaborn, well, I'm not sure if he made the finish or not. I don't know what was up with his car. Suddenly slow. We had a safety car. I believe it was for him who got stranded momentarily. And then he got going again, only to stop on the last lap. So I don't know if he'll be classified as a finisher or not. What a bizarre race from the Jaguar Enthusiast Club Saloon and GT Championship. They'll be back out later on. Hopefully we'll see the other two cars as well. Nick Strong and Michael Atkinson, 32 and 92, who were unable to start in that one after problems in qualifying. So there'll be a couple of cars to clear away, and then we'll be underway with race 3 of the day, which is a combined race, the Laser Tools Pre-93 touring cars and the Simply Serviced Pre-2003 touring cars. They're coming up shortly. And I hope you all enjoyed that one as much as I did. What a confusing race. One of our YouTube commenters says, I kind of want to live in that house next to the track. Yes, I'd certainly like to live there as well. Unfortunately, it's not inhabited anymore. So next up, the Pre-93 and Pre-2003 touring cars. Pre-93 sponsored by Laser Tools. Pre-2003 sponsored by Simply Serviced, based in Colchester. Now, some of you may know that the owner of Simply Serviced, Simon Beamont, was recently involved in a nasty accident at Brands Hatch. Thankfully, he is still on the mend. He is on the mend nicely. We wish him all the very best for a full recovery, Simon Beamont.